About a decade ago, NoBroker set out with a pretty straightforward agenda. They wanted to connect property owners with prospective renters directly, meaning they wanted to remove the middleman, in this case the notorious real estate broker, from the equation entirely. Now, this was a revolutionary concept at the time because if you've ever tried buying, selling, or renting property, you would know that real estate brokers, well, they just aren't the most popular people. This mainly has to do with brokerage, the fee they charge once a deal is through. Generally, for a rental, you're looking at paying an additional month's rent in brokerage fees, which a lot of people aren't too happy about usually. So, no broker came in and said it would hook you up with a home without a broker. And if the name of this unicorn status startup is anything to go by, this was a premise they took pretty seriously. Cut to now. Ironically enough, no broker seems to be going down the conventional broker route. It recently, very discreetly, rolled out a new postpaid plan for homeowners looking to rent their houses. And funnily enough, the way it works is pretty much how traditional brokers earn their brokerage. Basically, homeowners pay a fee to no broker only after locking down a renter, which of course the platform guarantees to find. And it sounds a lot like, well, a broker. But of course, this postpaid plan is significantly cheaper, about 50 to 80% cheaper to be exact. Now, the catch here is that not everyone has access to the postpaid plan. So far, no broker has been offering it only to handpicked clients, all of whom own premium properties in cities like Bangalore and Chennai. And of course, this is no coincidence. No broker seems to be deliberately limiting the plan to high-value clients. So, why has no broker switched up its strategy so much? And why is it going down the road it was so fundamentally against? Welcome to Daybreak, a business podcast from The Ken. I'm your host Rahil Philippos, and I'll be joining Snigdha every week to bring you one business story that is worth understanding and worth your time. Today is Tuesday, the 2nd of July. One thing no broker has really struggled with is breaking into the high-end property market. And there are many reasons for that. First and foremost is that this is a space dominated by well-connected local brokers. Or well, real estate consultants, like a lot of them prefer to be called. But things do seem to be changing. The Ken reporter Gaurav Bagur spoke to Prashant Thakur, head of research and advisory for Anarok Property Consultants. He said exactly that. He said that in the last 3 to 4 years, property tech or prop tech firms like NoBroker have managed to make some inroads. But of course, 80% of the market is still controlled by offline brokers. So tech startups like NoBroker have been looking out for their big break to get into high-end real estate. And now may just be their time to shine. We are currently in the middle of a boom in the high-end real estate market. Now, what this means is that luxury homes have been overtaking the affordable segment. It also means people can now afford to rent more expensive homes. Now, an unfortunate byproduct of that is the insane increase in rent prices that we've seen in prime neighborhoods across the country. But of course, no broker sees this as an opportunity to finally break into the high-end property market and add wealthy property owners to its lists of clients. And that's exactly why it introduced its postpaid plan. You see, it's a way for the company to acquire customers in this segment. But it's also much more than that. It means more money for no broker because typically an owner will end up paying about 2 to 5 times the price of a no broker subscription, which ranges between 3,000 to 10,000 rupees. But no broker is not going all out with the new plan. That's because if it was widely available, then more users would opt for it and forego no broker subscription plan. And then subscription revenue would take a hit. So it's being very deliberate with its postpaid plan and only offering it to a few wealthy property owners in higher-end neighborhoods. But here's the thing. The high-end real estate market is not for the faint-hearted. It's sort of like a very exclusive club. Of course, you have a bunch of high-value patrons, but it's also got a bunch of bouncers and management keeping the strays out. And the bouncers in that analogy are the OG offline brokers. And they are proving to be NoBroker's biggest threat at the moment. Stay tuned. One thing about the property market that still holds true is that it is heavily broker dependent. In many ways, NoBroker still hasn't been able to replace the broker. And when it comes to high-end real estate, brokers are an even bigger roadblock. That's because in the affordable and mid-range segment, brokers are less professional in their conduct and are more motivated by earning their commissions than by understanding a client's needs. When it started out, NoBroker capitalized on this opportunity by enabling frustrated renters and landlords to bypass these middlemen. And so far, it claims to have helped them collectively save 15,000 crore rupees in brokerages across the 6 markets it is in. But now it needs more growth. And that's why, like I said earlier, it's looking to acquire high net worth customers through its prepaid plan. But the same rules just don't apply here. Because as properties get more expensive, the brokers dealing in these properties get more suave and professional. There are generally not too many other property consultants either, only about 60 to 70 in a big city like Bangalore. So these brokers have a deep understanding of the micro markets, they've made a name for themselves over the years, and have established strong relationships with owners of premium properties. And that's exactly why such properties are hardly listed on NoBroker. Basically, NoBroker's postpaid plan may look attractive in financial terms, but it fails to deliver on other aspects. You see, owners of more expensive properties expect a certain service quality, something that NoBroker still has to work on. Take, for instance, the Ganapati family. The family agreed that they would pay NoBroker a fee if its staff helped them show the property to prospective tenants who came even via other rival platforms like Magic Bricks. But around a week after the initial call, they couldn't get in touch with the company-provided field manager. Ganapati then thought it was best to find a tenant by other means. But after he closed the listing, the NoBroker manager demanded that Ganapati pay the fee, regardless of the service. So clearly, NoBroker has some catching up to do. Because beating sophisticated professional brokers at their own game will take more than just its tech chops, which thankfully NoBroker has plenty of. What it has to work on is the absence of both brokers and brokering skills, proving that it's still humans who trump machines in this business.
Daybreak is produced from the newsroom of The Ken, India's first subscriber-focused business news platform. What you're listening to is just a small sample of our subscriber-only offerings. A full subscription unlocks daily long-form feature stories, newsletters, and podcast extras. Head to theken.com and click on the red subscribe button on the top of the website. Today's episode was hosted by Rahil Philippos, produced by me, Snigdha Sharma, and edited by Rajiv CN.